Hello, hello, hello. Hi, guys. Welcome back to another episode of the podcast. You're listening to Adult Puzzle Podcast, and I am your special one and only co host, Lola J. Lola, whatever your heart desires. Lamide is not here to gas me up today, so I have to do it by myself. But welcome, guys. Today with me, he's very special to me. Um, Lamide is not here today because he has some, things that he's doing. He's a busy man. So Chibuke is here with me today to have a spectacular episode, and I'm very excited. Hi, Chibuke. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you? I'm actually smiling, man. Busting my a little bit there, but yeah,
You don't understand. It's
I'm
like
good.
obviously I'm sad Lamide is not here, but I'm so
Mm-hmm.
hyped that you're here because we stay having like great
Long
conversation.
conversations,
Yep,
man. Yep.
yep,
Yep.
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 Yeah,
That's true.
how have things been for you? Catch us up real quick. What's going on in your life?
Uh, Everything is great, man. I just got a new job
Whoop,
starting on Monday. Yes,
I'm
sir.
so
Yes, sir.
proud of you. I am so proud of you, Chibuke. I don't know why. Like you're literally like my brother. Whenever you tell me something, like I get excited, like a proud mom moment. I know I'm not your mom, but like yeah.
Yeah. You played that role for me a little bit, so yeah, I appreciate you, man. Thank you.
That's amazing. I hope you like it and like just up and up from here, man.
Yeah, I hope I do too, man. I hope I do. I really put a lot of work into,
You
this
did.
this year. I'm trying to improve myself. I'm trying to get that better role, and finally it's here. So let's have it, man. Let's
You
have it.
did
Let's have
it.
it.
You did it. Like it's actually been, and like you said, you put in a lot of work. Like I've seen you grow over the last, years, and I would say the last year and a half or maybe two where you
Mm-hmm.
graduated and you really just had to put in work into yourself. And I think that's something that whenever you're done with college, like you don't realize how that's just the beginning. Like
Bruh,
your degree's only
bruh,
going to take you,
bruh. That degree don't even take you anywhere, man. I can't lie.
right? Right?
Okay, I mean, I don't think
Right?
it doesn't take you anyway, but man, there's so much that comes after college that I wasn't ready for until I actually was done with college, and I was just like, wow. I thought college was hard, but post university life is even harder, man. So
Yep, yep,
anyhow,
yep. Yeah. Okay. So I'm excited for this conversation because like we're not gonna get into the deep like, oh shoot, life after college. You know, we're gonna get into the fun part of it. I know sometimes it gets a little dicey and messy, let's not lie.
oh Lord, oh Lord,
But today
here
we're
we go.
talking about dating. Um, it's interesting because like I said, I feel like you're literally family to me, but you're for some weird reason, it's never been awkward talking to you about like explicit shit. So
I don't know why. I don't know why.
I know. And for guys, like let me actually explain Shibuki and I's dynamic. I don't even know if I should explain it if I shouldn't.
Try your
But
best.
basically, I met Shibuki through an ex. But like, so Shibuki is my ex's brother. But like throughout my relationship with my ex, like Shibuki and I have like we formed our own relationship, and it's crazy because it took me a while for that to resonate. Because I remember even like when after the breakup, like I had a hard time. I don't know if you remember where I was pulling away, and because I felt like, oh, I can't continue a relationship with you because this
Yeah,
is weird, and you had to be like, bruh, you and I have a relationship on our own.
like outside of
Yeah,
the relationship we have with my brother,
yeah.
it
And when
wasn't
you
the
said
same.
that, it actually hit. I was like, yo, that's so true. Like, we can actually spend hours and your brother wouldn't even come up once,
Come on,
you know?
exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Okay. I have a few, like, I want to throw you off a little bit. I
oh
have a few,
man,
like, this or that questions. You know
okay.
me, you know us. When you come to this podcast, you don't really know what we're expecting. We tell you what we're talking about, but you never know how the direction might lead. So
That's
this or
true.
that, if anything comes to mind for you, just throw it my way as well.
Definitely,
Okay.
definitely.
Dating apps. So meeting someone through a dating app or casually, what's your preference?
Oh, casually for sure, for sure.
Yep.
That
Yep.
should I explain why? I'll just say.
I mean, you can say why, but we'll dive into that later, but please, yeah.
For me, like even like trying to meet people on social media has always been tough for me. So
Hmm.
dating apps to me is like a social media platform, but just for dating. So
Yeah.
I never really know how to form relationships purely through online like forms or platforms. I don't know.
Hmm.
It's just never been my thing. So I would prefer either meeting you in person or whatever the case may be, but just not online.
Yeah. Yeah, same. I would say meeting people casually. I know that's so much harder now, but same for
Mm-hmm.
me. If we were to meet through a dating app, like I want us to like meet physically as soon as possible.
Yep.
Um,
Agreed.
okay. You've met someone, you guys have been talking, maybe texting, whatever. It's time for your first date.
Mm-hmm.
Fancy or casual? What vibe would you go for?
First ever date,
Hmm.
casual, definitely
Same.
casual.
Same. I want thoughtful casual. Let me call it that. Where it's like I don't just want you to be like, oh, come to my crib, or like let me like I want you to
No, no.
plan
Wait, when
something.
you meant
Yeah.
like casual, what do you mean actually? What do you mean by
It
casual?
varies. It could vary. Casual can just be like somebody being like, oh, let's go watch a movie, the next 6 o'clock movie. And that's all. It could also be like, come to my crib, let's, Netflix and chill. I guess that's
Oh, if you mean that, then no, not casual. I'll say fancy then. I like going out for dinner for the first day because it's just that intimacy of you, the person, and just food and good conversation. I love that shit so much. It really shows
mm,
you how people communicate because
uh-huh.
I think that's one thing that a lot of people struggle with, like talking to someone you don't really know properly.
Yeah.
I only want to see how you adapt that put in that scenario, and it's just interesting to me when I'm
So
talking to
you would
somebody for
say
the
like
first time.
food setting, first
Definitely
date.
food. Definitely food. Almost
Mm,
always, in fact, it's always food for me.
are you serious?
Let's
I
just
think
chow and talk.
Yeah. For me, definitely not food. I mean, if it's food, it's fine, but I would want something more outdoorsy, like with nature. So, like, go to the beach,
Mm-hmm.
have a picnic. I guess there
Mm-hmm.
could be food there, but the food is not like the main thing. Or go on a hike, like a nice hike with some views and just like talk. But
Mm-hmm.
definitely that communication element is like very big. The movies, I think that's the worst first date you could take
Oh,
me
it's the
on.
worst thing. The worst.
Worst,
Make that
worst.
mistake once. Horrible.
Oh, like a lot of people used to do that way back, where it's like, okay, let's go to the movies. Yeah,
Yeah.
that is, yeah,
There's no communication, man. It's just
none.
weird. I don't know.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like, okay, does he put his hands around me? It's just
Yeah,
weird.
you get like I'm just like, what do I do? Nah, nah.
How long is too long to meet the friends when you're dating someone or when you start dating someone?
That's a great question. I never actually thought about that, to be honest. Wow. How
Should I
long is
go?
too long? I mean, you go, because I really don't know.
So I didn't
Never thought
realize that I
about that.
had like an issue with this. Not an issue, but like if I, because I know sometimes, especially when you meet someone casually through like a friend of a friend, you might already know their friends, right? It's a different situation.
Yeah.
But when you meet someone where it's like you guys are talking, you don't necessarily know about their friends. I think I want to get to know you first on a deeper level, not too deep, but on a level where it's like, okay, I want to continue talking to you before I meet your friends. Like, I don't want to meet your friends after our first date.
Of course, of course. No,
Yeah.
fucks.
So I think that's for me. It's not like a specific time frame, but it's just like once I know for sure, like, okay, I actually like talking to you and I want to keep going somewhere, then you could introduce me to your
Mm-hmm.
friends. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, because for me, the way I see it is like if I don't meet your friends, it's just you and I. If we're to dead it, let's dead it there. Versus like if I
Yeah.
meet your friends and then my friends know your friends, yeah,
Then it
it's
becomes it's weird, yeah. I
yeah,
understand what you mean.
yeah.
Honestly, I've never actually met the person's friends before we even started like being in a relationship, to be honest.
Oh, are you
I've never met them
serious?
before. It's always after we get into the relationship, then we actually meet up with the friends. But like I know them. Do you get what I mean? Like
Mm,
last person I was, or let me not say last person. One of the people I was with before. What actually happened was I never actually met her friends
mm-hmm,
till like let's say like a month of us actually being in a relationship, like proper. Do you get what I mean? And the way
mm-hmm,
it happened was I think it was her birthday. That's the first time I ever met her friends. Was on her birthday. But then I already knew them before. Like we knew them like through FaceTime calls, that shit. When she's on her friends, FaceTime with her friends, stuff like that. Like
mm-hmm.
I'll say hi to them and we'll speak and whatever. But I never actually met them until her birthday. That's the first time I saw all of them. And I was like, wow, okay. You have a lot
Oh
of friends, first of
wow.
all. But
Yeah.
yeah,
I feel like if I can, I would want to meet at least a few before we start dating. Like maybe your
Bef-
best friend and your closest friend or something like that before we
wait,
start.
you mean dating or like in a relationship? What you
Sorry,
mean?
being in a relationship. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Okay. Okay. Those were my this or that questions, a little tease before we dive into it. So as I mentioned, today we're talking about dating. So let's even just like describe it because remember when we had that conversation like way back where I was kind of like in the dating pool for the first time
I
and
know where you're going at. Yeah.
yep, I was getting blown away because I mean, I was in a long-term relationship for a while and then like okay, single,
Mm-hmm.
now what? And
Mm-hmm.
just meeting
Mm-hmm.
different people throwing different phrases around, not really knowing what we're doing. It's like I'm talking to somebody, I like talking to you, but we're not exclusive. So I was getting very
Yeah.
confused. So I came to Chimike like, bruh,
I'm
explain
gonna
this
do
shit.
this again. I'm gonna do this again. Let me start by saying this is my own list. This is not like
Mm-hmm.
a general. This is how me I do it though.
Yep.
Let's start from there.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, there are four different phases you can go through when you actually meet someone, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
The initial phase, that's talking. That's
Okay.
obviously you guys just exchange contacts, you know what I mean? You like their energy, you're just talking like maybe on the phone or texting, whatever the case may be, right?
Mm-hmm.
The next phase is actually dating after talking. So dating is when you're actually like going on dates. Maybe you're going for dinner, going to the movies, going to the beach, going for a picnic date, whatever the case may be.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I call dating.
Mm-hmm.
And there's dating exclusively.
Okay.
And that's when it's just you, and that's when you're only doing that what I just described like prior, but just one person
With one
because people
person.
can date multiple people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So then that's the third stage, and then there's either you end up in a relationship or a situationship. That's how I see it. Either you end up maybe after you've dated exclusively with this person, you think, okay, I can take it to the next level. Then you
Mm-hmm.
go to the relationship, maybe when you ask her out or whatever the case may be. Or you end up in a situationship, which is just another middle ground that I don't even know how to describe properly to anybody. When
Mm-hmm.
you're in one, you know you're in one. That's all I can say. When you're in a situationship, you're in a situationship. That's what I can say. I don't have to
Yeah.
describe it to you, but that's it. Yeah, those are the
Yeah.
four phases. So situationship are basically the last phase of the
Yeah.
ladder. Well,
I
so
agree
yeah.
with you, and I know they're just like your definitions, but you helped me give me direction because what I was struggling with was really that like dating and dating exclusively piece because
Mm-hmm.
the idea of just like talking to different people, I don't know, just the way I'm built, it just wasn't
Mm-hmm.
sitting right in my heart. Where it's like, okay,
Yeah,
am I leading multiple people on? But then you help me like, okay, that's normal. It's when you
that's
now go
very normal.
yeah, it's like exclusive and so I will ask you this though, situationship, is there
Mm-hmm.
an exclusivity to it or is that based on the individual or the pair couple?
The one that I've been in,
Mm-hmm.
some aspects were exclusive, like the physical aspect was exclusive. You get what
Mm.
I mean? That
Because
part was exclusive, but we were allowed to talk to other people if we wanted to. But I really, honestly, I didn't because I liked her. I just wasn't. I just knew that I wasn't ready to take it to the next level because I wasn't ready to be in a relationship myself. But I still liked that company so much that I didn't just want to let this go to nothing. See what I mean?
gotcha. Okay. I kind of like that
So,
spot though, where it's like you define what the exclusivity is, and then if things were to change, you communicate. But
hmm,
yeah, because you could still, it's
yeah,
like physically exclusive for your from your perspective, but then like you could
hmm,
still talk to other people, and let's say one of you started to feel somebody else, you like
yeah,
let each other know, but you're
yeah.
not. Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay.
But we
I
still
could.
went on dates and all that stuff. We're still doing that. I just knew myself that once that tag became relationship, that I'll start feeling the pressure that I wasn't ready to take on just yet. I can't lie. That's just how I look at
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
So
And that
that
happens
was
too,
it.
just based on where you are in your life. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I want
It
to
was
say
fun
for
though.
me, I bet it was.
Go on, yeah.
I want to say for me, like I saw it in, okay, now I see it in two ways. Before I was
Mm-hmm.
confused as hell. Now I see it in two ways.
Mm-hmm.
But I definitely agree with your four steps. I see it in two
Yeah.
ways just to simplify it for me. I think there's a casual dating and then
Mm-hmm.
there's the intentional dating, and I'll explain what that means.
All right, go
So
ahead.
casual is like when you're really going into it, not really having much expectations. It's like, mm,
Okay.
if you find something, you find something, but that's not really what you're going in for. You're just going to have a good time. You're not looking for anything serious. You're going with the flow. You might have
Mm-hmm.
expectations, but they might be like very, very low. Again, similar to Chibike, this is for me, right? I know it's different for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you like low expectations. You're not really expecting to like connect with someone. It's just going with the flow. I will say in casual, there's more games being played depending.
Oh, for sure.
And then like for me specifically, it's like you're not necessarily willing to drop your guard. So it's like you're going in trying to meet people, but because you don't have much expectations, you're not just like, okay, this person, I want to show you all of me so that way we can like actually try and make something work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then intentional is like opposite, right? It's like you're going in with a lot of intentionality. You're trying to meet someone to stay committed. You're typically
Mm-hmm.
willing to like drop your guards and see where that goes. So yeah, that's
Okay.
kind of like how I see it. And I will tell you this, I would say because casual, and it's a mindset thing. It depends on like how you approach one person, because I've definitely seen where with some people it's like I go in with the casual mindset, and
Mm-hmm.
then with some people it's like there's a little bit more intentionality where it's like I have higher expectations and stuff.
So I guess how would you know by just looking at a person when you want to be casual or be like intentional with it? I don't understand that
Yeah.
part.
Okay, so for me specifically, it's based on two things. Depending on where I'm at, like mindset wise, like if I'm just in a place where I'm not willing to, you know, I'm not looking for anything serious, then I go in casually. And then the second piece is it actually depends on the person. Like, and we'll talk about this some more, but sometimes you
Okay.
can actually meet someone where from the initial stages,
Mm-hmm.
they're offering you just so much richness and so much that you kind of go in with like, okay, more intentionality because you do feel like they might be on a certain wavelength that other people might not. Yeah, so those are the two
Okay.
factors I think. And it's very dicey again because I've definitely seen where I go in just like, okay, I'm not looking for anything serious, but then because I'm not looking for anything serious, it already like puts hurdles there, and it's limiting whatever we have from progressing because it doesn't matter what the other person is doing.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. But that's kind of
totally
what they.
understand.
Hmm.
That's very interesting though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool. All right, fair enough.
What? Okay, so we're talking about like your stages of dating. Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
talking to the like commitment, boyfriend, girlfriend, all of
Mm-hmm.
that, all of that, all of that. You kind of divided the stages. Can
Yeah.
you dive into it some more? Exactly what those stages entail. So, for example, if you were dating someone, what would
Mm-hmm.
you expect out of that stage versus like the other stage and all of that, all of that, all of that? So, I'll go
Okay.
first. I
Uh,
think for casual dating, for me, obviously talking, like you said, spending time together. If
mm-hmm.
I'm being honest, yeah, I feel like dating
Mm-hmm.
as a whole is a huge assessment.
Oh wow.
I
Oh,
don't
I
know.
mean, I agree with you.
Okay, I
I
was gonna
totally
say,
agree with you.
I don't know if everyone agrees because that makes it seem like it's very formal and all of that, and transactional. But
Mm-hmm.
I think it's an assessment where it's like, as you're getting to know somebody, you're basically like assessing so many different things, like how compatible
Yeah.
with they are with you, how
Mm-hmm.
your dynamics might be, how
Mm-hmm.
like you might clash, or how might you're like how different you are. It's just like a huge assessment. So I would say the dating stage is like where you're really like assessing a lot. Um, and then for casual dating and intentional dating, I think the assessment happens for me a lot. With casual dating, I'm not gonna lie, I'm expecting excitement. Like that's kind of like what I'm going in for, the thrill.
Yeah. 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 I
If I'm,
totally agree.
yeah, it's like, okay, are you keeping me on my toes? Are you exciting me? It's kind of like just looking for that high. And then like once the high dies
Is
down,
it
that's
the butterflies in your stomach? That shit.
it's wild because yeah, yeah, maybe it's not everybody can get butterflies probably.
What does that like?
Maybe.
I never understood that shit, bro. Like, what does that even mean?
Wait, you haven't felt that before?
What does that mean, man?
Oh, I've definitely felt it. It's basically when like somebody just makes you feel a type of, if I had to describe it, like warmth
Mm-hmm.
inside of you. Like you see them or you hang out with them and you just feel internally like happy. You know when you just have a good meal. Maybe this is not a good comparison, but when you just have a good meal and like as you're eating and you're feeling good, the dopamine is like hitting all types of level,
Okay.
oxytocin, like all of those happy hormones. That's kind of how the person makes you feel. I do know, especially for casual dating, it's very temporal. It's like short-lived and then it dies down. But for casual dating, that's kind of like what I'm expecting. It's like I'm expecting the talking stage for me to
Mm-hmm.
assess you, us to get to know each
Mm-hmm.
other, and like ultimately me to feel all types of excitement when we're talking. And then with casual dating, so like breaking down those stages, typically I expect like a peak, and then after that peak, everything just falls.
This is still casual.
This is with casual, yeah. And typically after that peak is where like we carry our bags and walk separate.
What are you doing? What have you been doing this past year, man?
Okay,
That's what
guys,
I'm thinking now.
let me preface this. The last year and a half, maybe, I've been mad single. So I feel like this is coming out of like that whole single, I don't know even what to call it, when you just leave a relationship and you're like out and about, just like, getting to know people, all of that. Um,
It's fun, eh? It's
it's
very fun.
fun. It's fun. I will say this, like, it's not for me, like long term.
I didn't expect that.
No, because some people are really, really, really good at it. And even all the things I'm saying, like you would think like I've been talking to a lot of people. No, it hasn't even been like a lot, but it's one of those things
Mm-hmm.
where I definitely notice differences between like the few people. But some people literally love the excitement. It's like they talk to people, they get to know each other, they date, whatever that entails,
I
hang
know
out.
someone like that. Yeah.
And then it peaks and it's like on to the next, right? Like looking for the next
Mm-hmm.
high.
Mm-hmm.
But okay, so with casual, it's like after that peak, typically that's when you guys like walk your separate ways, where it's like you knew you didn't go in looking for anything much. So like after it peaks, and usually after that peak is usually when you start to see like the true colors, I would say. Because I don't know if this happens to you, but when you start dating someone, you put up, I don't want to say your best self, but like there's
You did your
some
best self. Or you're trying to put up your best self,
you're
rather.
trying to put up your best self, exactly. So
Yeah.
after that peak, I guess people call it the honeymoon stage, that's when you start to realize like the true colors. And a lot of times it's either you like what you see and you want to like be like, okay, you know what, there's actually a lot here, let's see where this can
Yeah.
go.
It reminds me of like the first 90 days of a job, that probation period.
Yes, probation.
And if they like you, they'll take you on. If they don't like you,
You keep,
guy.
exactly. But typically, I would say for casual, from my perspective, after that peak has dipped, or yeah, that's when you like carry your bags and you keep it moving, right? But with intentional, I think typically after that peak, that's when you like break down the assessments that you've done and you realize like, okay, do I like this? Do I like what I see to keep it
Mm-hmm.
pushing?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
um and to like continue something more intentional. It's either you like what you like and you keep it pushing, or sometimes you might not necessarily like it but it's good enough for you to settle. um so you're just like, okay, we'll keep it pushing, or you just walk out. But that's basically the differentiator, I think, after that peak between like casual or intentional. It's
Mm-hmm.
like, are you gonna put in time, effort
Do
to like,
I
yeah,
have a question?
yeah.
Do you ever like, let's say you were feeling this guy, right?
Hmm.
And you stop feeling him, then you start feeling him again. What do you do in that situation? How do you go about handling that?
Ah.
I'm curious to know now. What this you've been experiencing?
Um, to be honest, I feel like personally, you just have to either communicate that to the person.
No, I said you. Lola, you. How do you go
Me.
about handling that? Yeah, answer
Ah,
now.
why are you trying to know what I would do?
Nah, because I'm curious now. I'm curious.
So I wasn't feeling you, and then now I'm feeling you. It depends on how I've handled it, right? If like I've
Mm,
just kept things flowing, where because one thing I also would say about me when it comes to dating is I'm very, very honest. Just because like
mm-hmm,
my heart cannot sit with me, my conscience cannot sit with me to lead somebody on when I know that we're not heading towards the same direction. So like if the person wants something serious and I don't, so I'll be very honest. So it's not going where I think it's gonna go, or like this is not going to be serious for me. If I already had that conversation with you and then down the line I realize that I'm actually liking you, then I will come back and have that conversation with you and be like, you know what, based on things that I've seen, or it doesn't have to be like that, but like I'll basically tell you, I'm feeling you now. I do know some of my guy friends have scolded me, literally telling me that like they never tell a guy that this is heading nowhere because it doesn't matter if you feel him down the line, he might not take you as seriously as.
that is very true. That is very, very true.
Really? I think that's why I fuck up. I'm not gonna lie, because I'm so honest from the beginning when I don't even really know you, but based on where my
Mm-hmm,
mind is at, I'm like, yeah, I don't think this is going anywhere. I'm not trying to like put my, I'm not in the place to let all my guards down. So I just want to let you know so that you're not inputting a lot into me. Because the way I'm seeing it is like you invest so much time into me, and then like from the beginning,
mm-hmm,
I already knew it wasn't going anywhere. So let me just be
mm-hmm.
honest. But then you're right. Sometimes you do develop feelings, and yeah,
Yeah.
but that's what I
How do
would
you
do.
handle them? That's the question. But yeah,
Yeah, that's what I would do. I don't know if the guy would take me back, but that's what I would
most
do.
likely not. But I mean, you can try.
Exactly, exactly. Yeah. So again,
Otherwise,
I
you
think
try.
it varies. It gets very dicey because I think it's good to be honest in the beginning, but then
Yeah.
you never know where it's gonna lead you. So maybe now what I might start to do is just really that whole like go with the flow, where it's like you don't put out anything out there. It's like you're just getting to know each other. But what kills me, Chibike, I'm not gonna lie to you,
Mm-hmm.
that whole dating multiple people,
It's not for you.
it's not for me.
Fair enough.
Especially when like I really like you and I know that you're showing me, the things I want you to show me, and like we're having a good time. But at the back of
Mm-hmm.
my head, I'm picturing you do that with other people. And like
Mm-hmm.
I might be doing that with other people too. Like I can't do that. So that's why from the beginning for me, I like to lay it down on the table where it's like, okay, this is casual, this is not, that type of thing. Yeah. But again, dicey. How about you though? I'm really curious. What are your expectations during the different stages? Like how do you navigate all of that?
I mean, the first stage for me was talking, right? So I
Mm-hmm.
mean, it's just mostly it's going to be through either text or like video call, like FaceTime or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I guess it's just like I want to say, first thing is just like if you can't respond or if you're not available, and I try to like reach out to you and stuff, just let me know. For
Mm-hmm.
me, that's like the first thing for me because I feel like it's just respect.
Yep.
Like if somebody's trying to reach out to you or trying to talk to you, if you want to talk, just let them know that you
Mm-hmm.
don't talk or you can't talk at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And don't let people wonder what's going on. Like I just feel like
That's true.
there's no need for that really. That's how I am. I don't want you to have to worry about this or that. I just let you know, like I'm busy right now. I can't talk. But I'll call
Mm-hmm.
you back at this time or whatever, whatever. That's how I like doing my thing. Another thing I'll say that I really look out for in talking stage is like how we actually communicate. Like, is there vibes? Is there energy, or is it just like bland? Like,
Mm.
you know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
if I already know that I was not there's some people that the way they text is just it's just dead. That's just the
Oh my
truth.
gosh, yeah.
It's just the
And
truth, man.
I feel you on. I don't know if this happens to you where when you meet somebody, when you start talking to
Mm-hmm.
somebody over text, before you meet them, it's actually really
Mm-hmm.
hard for you to understand. like them.
Yeah, yeah.
Their sense
Texting
of
is like
humor.
is
Yeah.
very bad. So for me, it's like the worst way to communicate to a person texting
Same,
because
same.
you can't really express emotions through like written
Text.
text. In my
Yeah.
opinion,
Yeah,
that's
that's so
why I
true.
love. That's why I like video calling people. I love like FaceTiming people. That's why I love because you can see like their face. You can see how they're actually like their mood basically through their face. Stuff like that.
Hmm.
You text somebody you don't really know. They can even be cussing you. I see you texting you back. You don't understand what I'm saying? Like
Yeah, yeah.
so you know, like texting is such it's so bad. I hate, and that's why I don't like texting people at all. Like, cause it's just hard, and it's really hard to text in general for me. I just don't
Yeah,
really find
that's
it
so true.
interesting. So there's that.
Yeah.
So that's what I really look for in talking to you, just how you communicate and the vibes that there are when we're communicating. Then
Hmm.
obviously from there, if there's vibes on the phone or whether it's phone call or FaceTime, texting, obviously then I'll take it to the next day. I'll start actually dating you and taking you out and see how you are
Hmm.
when we're around other people, when we're around maybe a waiter, when we're around like people that we don't know. I want to see how you interact with other people.
Yep.
I want to see your energy when you're around other people. That's what I'm saying. So yeah, that's really what I look for in those early stages. And obviously from exclusivity, you want a person who can, or I'm not gonna say you, I want a person who can obviously keep that word of commitment of being exclusive,
Hmm.
obviously. That's very important
Yeah,
because
keep it
everybody
to your
wants
word.
someone that's loyal to
Yep.
them.
Hmm.
And I would also say, you know, like being able to make time for the other person.
Oh my gosh, so
That's so
true.
important too. It's so
Yep.
important too, man. Like, there's sometimes that I didn't want to do certain things, but I'm like, I know she would love this, so fuck it. I'm going to do it regardless.
Oh
I'm going
my
to make that time.
God.
Do you know what I mean?
Yep. Yep. Yep.
So you have to be able to do what you don't really want to do sometimes
Yeah.
to make the other person happy. And I
Yeah.
think that's very important too. So there are things that I really look for. And yeah, just
I actually
just
love
that
that.
I'd say.
See
That's
why I
what I'd
come
say.
to you for dating advice? Because everything you said, like, so true. Literally. I think,
Mm-hmm.
like, if I had to break it down, I absolutely agree. The consistency one is so key to me because in
Mm-hmm.
both like casual dating and, intentional dating, I think there's something about putting in the time that just
Yeah.
helps further the relationship versus like, oh, I texted today, I don't text it tomorrow, da 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 da. It's like if we're gonna text
Mm-hmm.
every other day, let's keep it that way. Or if we're gonna text
Mm-hmm.
once a week, let's be like rather than like intense and then you back
And
down.
then you're just dead. It's just like hot and
Yeah,
cold. Like,
yeah,
nah.
so hot and cold, yeah. Then how you treat me too is so important too, and like you said, other
Mm-hmm.
people as well.
Actually, other people is
Um,
also very important too.
so like so
Yeah.
important, and just like even basic like behaviors, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
I I think in that dating stage, that's where you fish it out. It's like, are you kind? Are you driven? Do you communicate
Yep.
well?
Yep.
Sense of
Yep.
humor, like all of
Yep.
those type of things. Yeah, yeah.
Yep. Yep.
I
Yep.
agree. I
Yep.
agree. And
Yep.
I think all of those you have to figure out first, and that's where you like have that peak where everything goes well. And then once you
Mm-hmm.
start figuring out like they don't have certain things, that's
Yeah.
when if you're casually dating, you now like dip and you say, okay, this is not for me and stuff.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Let's talk about social media because I feel like our
Gosh, bro.
generation, it's like we have it good, but we also have it really, really bad at the same time. It's, yeah. Do you think, obviously, I think we both know the answer is yes, but I want to dive into how. But the question is like,
Mm-hmm.
do you think social media has affected dating culture and just relationships and how so?
1,000,000%.
Yep.
Obviously. So first of all, social media is obviously very, very good. Let's not just bash it,
Yeah.
you know. But it
Mm-hmm.
also has its downsides. Let me
Yep.
start with this. We as humans, we naturally want what's best for us,
Mm-hmm.
and we have this very bad habit of comparing ourselves to other people, whether we do it consciously or subconsciously.
Or
I
not.
think almost
Yeah.
everybody does that. Do
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So let's say this babe or this guy's with a girl or with a guy, whatever the case may be, and you see another couple's relationship, and you see what they're doing. Maybe they're traveling, maybe they're like buying a house together, whatever the case may be, and in your relationship you don't have that, but you really want that, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and you now start like maybe start resenting your partner subconsciously because they
Right.
can't give that to you.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of messed up, but I feel like a lot of people are in a scenario that's like that. Maybe not say everybody, but I feel like a lot of people are in a scenario that's like that. That they start to compare themselves to other people's lives rather than just appreciating what they do have.
Have, yeah.
You get what I mean?
Yep.
So I think that's one thing that social media has really done that is so like there's no right way to go about it because I think we all kind of do it in a way,
Mm-hmm.
and it's
It's to
not
what
fair to the other
extent you
person.
take it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really not fair to the other person, especially when they're trying their best. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Yeah.
So there's that there, and another thing is just I don't know. This was gonna be funny.
Please say it.
Valentine's Day, man. Oh
Oh,
man, Valentine's
Jesus
Day is
Christ.
just it's not even about love, man.
Are you
It's,
serious?
I don't even think it's about love anymore. It's just about who got what. Do you know what I mean? Like, man,
Mm.
I don't hate Valentine's Day. Don't get me wrong. I like it, but every February 14th, I'm just like, oh, here we go again.
Wait, okay.
See what I mean? I'm
Question for
just like,
you. Do you feel like partners should gift themselves on Valentine's Day? Or like
100%.
do something special? Yeah, right.
I think you should. I think everybody should do something for their significant other on Valentine's
Other,
Day.
right.
No matter how little it may be, I mean, just do something. Just
Mm-hmm.
like show them that you appreciate them.
Love, yeah.
Even besides Valentine's Day, you should still do that. But like
Exactly.
on that day, when people just want that extra love,
Yep.
just why not? You can give it to them. Why not just give it to them?
Mm-hmm.
Why not? That's how I look at it. But one thing I would say though is that Valentine's Day is no more about love. It's about oh man, when I said this I said this at the kickback I was at 2 weeks ago, and
Mm-hmm.
a girl there called me a misogynist, and I was just like, bruh.
What did you
Uh,
say?
I said Valentine's Day, no more Valentine's Day. It's now International Women's Day, and
No.
bro, I am so sorry, man. Like I know how that sounds. I know it sounds fucked up. I know. Well, hear me out. Yeah, just hear me out.
Okay.
I know it sounds fucked up,
Mm-hmm.
bruh. How many? Man, this sounds so fucked up, bro. How many babes or girls or ladies actually get their guys something of Valentine's Day?
Okay. Can I chime in? Because I actually
Go ahead.
agree with you on that aspect. I think, and it's
Mm-hmm.
crazy. One of the episodes that we recorded this season,
Yeah.
we're talking about breakups and stuff, and so we're along the lines of like, do girls Valentine's Day is a celebration of love for your woman, and I don't agree because I
For your
do.
woman.
Yeah, yeah. And I
Okay.
don't agree because I feel like it should be a two-way street. I think the woman
Exactly.
should appreciate the guy just as much as the
Mm-hmm.
guy is appreciating the woman. And that's what I would want
Mm-hmm.
from my relationships. But I do
Yeah.
get you in the sense that there are a lot of females in the world that just
No, we
want
say
to be
women. Women. A lot of women. Go on.
a
Yeah.
lot of women in the world that just want to be like splashed with, they just want to receive on Valentine's Day and
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Valentine's Day should be a celebration of love. It's like show your
Uh-huh.
partner appreciation both
Yeah.
ways. Yeah.
Yeah. Anybody's saying go and do like the impossible on that day, but like, bro, just like I think get me a card, bro, or something. You know what I mean? Like, just
Do
do
more than a
something.
card. Something
I'm I-
thoughtful.
I'm just saying like just show that you also appreciate me.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying, man. I'm not saying go above and beyond. Like there was even this girl
Mhm.
that I kind of liked one time, and I got her flowers on Valentine's Day, and she didn't get me anything. I didn't complain because honestly, like that's what I expected. I was just thinking,
Yeah.
man, it would have been nice if you at least just did something, just because I know
Mhm.
you like me too. Let's do something, bro. Even if it's
Yeah.
just food, just give me something. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. But I didn't complain, because I mean, that's how it is these days. That's how it is
Yeah.
now. It's just what can I receive? No, it's never how am I also benefit. I'm also giving myself or giving love to the other
Yeah.
person.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's whatever, man.
From a guy's perspective, I see how that's challenging because you also, like you said, you kind of didn't have expectations, and I think that's something that's already
I
sad
didn't.
to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like you're just expecting to give and not necessarily have that reciprocated, and that sucks. I know not all females are. Why do I keep saying females? Well, I guess we're all females, but not all females, women are like that because I definitely have like girlfriends. Because me, when I was dating someone, like I would get him something on Valentine's Day.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I know a lot of my friends where it's like it's a two-way street. Like I have this one friend where she had such a thoughtful present for her guy this year. It was so beautiful, and he was blown away. And I feel like that is
Yeah.
supposed to be normal. And yeah, yeah, but I feel you on that one. And also, even on the social media aspect of Valentine's Day, I think you're definitely right where people put their stuff on social media and it's beautiful to see it. But I have also seen where people like compare partners. It's like, oh, see what this guy got for his girl.
Yeah,
Why
you
didn't
get
you do
someone.
that for my girl?
Maybe this guy got his babe, flowers and chocolate or teddy bear or whatever the case
Mm-hmm.
may be. But then this other guy maybe going to go and decorate a hotel room,
Mm-hmm.
the petals, the balloons, all that type of stuff, and start feeling bad. Like them, like I couldn't do that. Just like, bruh, just be happy for what you have, Just
Right,
be happy, man.
exactly. Exactly.
You know.
Yeah. I actually agree with you on like everything you've said, basically. Let me tell you
Mm-hmm.
how I think social media has affected dating. I think the biggest one for our generation and with the social media age is the
Mm-hmm.
endless options. Like
Whew,
endless. It's that like
whew,
on to the next mentality where it's like,
whew.
okay, I like this girl, but I also like this one, and I also like this one, and I also like this one. Versus
Mm-hmm.
before, without social media, if you had a crush in your classroom, that was kind of your world bubble, right? Like she
Mm-hmm.
had your full attention, like you guys were able to do your thing and blissfully just be you guys is doing your thing. But now, especially with dating, it's like everyone wants to put their eggs like in different baskets, and
Yeah.
not and that's what it's like, I think, in our stopping from people investing, where it's like you just want to have you want to have a bite of every cake, right? No, think
Okay.
about it for real.
I,
It's like
I I ain't against the multiple dating people think, Sha, but go on. I'm listening.
yeah, yeah.
I'm not against it.
It doesn't work for me because, like, yeah, I know people are built different, but the whole idea of like endless options, I think social media has brought that element to it. I think there's some positives just as much as there's negative. I think the positives is like you don't have to limit yourself and settle for what might
Yeah,
not be yours within your like surrounding, like
exactly.
physical surrounding, right? Where it's like now
Mm-hmm.
you can actually meet someone in Canada, me that I'm in Cali, that might be more of my person than somebody in Cali. That's the beautiful part of it. But the flip
Yeah.
side is where like there's actually somebody that you could have something great with, but just because you also want to test the waters with everyone,
Mm-hmm.
you're kind of giving some, like, you're half-assing everybody, right? And
Mm-hmm.
that's where it gets a bit dicey. And I think that's where sometimes it could be a negative, where it's like everyone just wants to play the game of let's try each other out without actually like
Mm-hmm.
diving in. That's one of the biggest things. The other thing, and I actually think this one is funny, is
Go on.
catfishing.
What?
Catfishing. Bro, you haven't heard of that? Like, do you know what
I have,
catfishing is?
but I know, but I want to understand what you mean by this.
Okay, catfishing in the sense that like you meet somebody off of social media or a dating app,
Mm,
and
mm,
like they have presented their self in a certain way on social
mm-hmm.
media. And I always
Like in
say,
terms of like the appearance, right?
in terms of their appearance, like physically, sometimes it might even be like their lifestyle too. Sometimes it
Okay.
might even be like how they are, like their aura online, like they're on. You know how somebody just has like an online presence, like you
Mm-hmm.
don't know them, but then because of the way they represent themselves online, you kind of
Mm-hmm.
have assumptions, right,
True.
about them.
I think
So it could be
everybody does that.
exactly. So it could be
True.
physical. It could be like your status. It could be just your aura, all of that. They present themselves in a certain way. I think it's more so physical because the other ones, like that's all on your assumptions, right? But the
Yeah.
physical, it's like you're showing yourself as
This is how
this.
you look.
This is how
Yeah.
you look. This is how I'm supposed to see you when I see you.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's not the case. And that one, and this is why I don't like online dating because I think the way like guys always say girls catfish, I think girls can also say the same thing when it comes to like physical stuff like your height, how built you are,
Mm-hmm.
just knowing your angles, all of that. But I think
As a guy ever
catfishing,
catfish you? That's a very long pause.
not 100%. Like I don't necessarily think he
Mm.
catfished me, but I think he presented his height in a certain
Okay,
way that was false
interesting.
of what he was. And I think guys do that white lie, or is it? I don't know if it's even white, but like a guy's is like
How did
five.
he do that? I'm very curious.
Let
Like
me
he said
explain.
it to you, or
Yeah. So he said he
okay,
was 5'11", I think.
okay.
And the man pulls up. He's not 5'11".
Is he even 5'8"?
He's taller than me, but he's not that much taller than me. He's like,
You're like 5'6", 5'7",
yeah,
right?
he's five. Okay, he's 5'8" because I'm 5'6". Yeah.
Oh Lord.
Thankfully, he looks like what he looks like, so that didn't throw me back too much.
Mm-hmm.
Just because like I kind of knew what I was getting into. It's just like he wasn't as tall, but like
Okay.
in my opinion, that's still catfishing.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm
That is
surprised you've never been like at all
very
catfished.
interesting. I really haven't, man. I really haven't been catfished. I can't lie. Everybody
Wow.
I've met, they look very similar, if not the exact same as they look online.
Yeah,
To me.
that's really good. That's because that's what I strive to be, but that's really good because
But like the truth is that most people also like think about it. Nobody wants to look bad online. Yes, you get to obviously post like your best self online.
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
so there's
yeah,
that.
that's
Yeah,
true.
you don't always look your best self in person. That's the truth. You don't always
That's
look that.
true. That's so
There's that.
true. That's so
So
true.
I mean,
I think you're right. Like it's definitely not maybe as common, but especially if you guys do like FaceTime calls and stuff, but I've definitely heard that it
yeah,
happens. I
exactly,
definitely heard that it
exactly.
happens. Yeah.
Like, most people I've met, like when I start dating them, I typically have already seen them on FaceTime,
On
or
FaceTime. Yep. Yep.
before
To
I
be
even
fair,
meet them in person. So.
I want to say that's part of the reason why online dating, like dating apps, is not for me because it's like I want to imagine talking to someone. Yeah. You
Hmm.
talk to someone, you guys start to like develop something over text. Maybe you FaceTime, but you're getting all the right angles. And then you now meet the person, and then you're like, oh, wait a minute, this is not it. How do you backtrack?
Oh man, I don't know. I don't really want to know too. I don't want to know.
Like, how do you backtrack from all of that? The other thing, the last thing I wanted to add, like with social media, yeah, because you talked about the comparison one, is how
Hmm.
I don't know if it's our generation. I think it's our generation, but I think social media causes a lot of like fronting. I call it fronting, but it's
Okay.
basically when it's like you don't want to look too hungry. Like you want to look like you have
True.
multiple
True. True. True.
choices.
True. 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 True.
Like
True.
don't text first, don't double
Mhm.
text,
Mhm. 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 Mhm.
give like
Mhm.
2 hours before you respond. There's
Yeah. Yeah. Down. I'm just like, bro, just be yourself, dog.
just be yourself. I know. Yeah.
Like,
I
there's
know,
no rule
right?
book to this shit, bro. Just chill, man.
I know,
Just
I
chill,
know.
man.
But it's crazy because I feel like people have to go through phases because there are definitely times where it's like, especially if you're casually dating, you kind of already went in playing games. So you're just trying to
Okay.
like get a game out of it versus like if you go in more intentional, you're less likely to do the whole
Mhm.
fronting thing. And also, I've also heard
Mhm.
this too. If you've been hurt before,
Mhm.
you're more likely to like put up certain fronts and walls and play more games because games have been played on you before in the past.
Down for sure. Down.
Yeah,
I know.
yeah.
Obviously, like you don't want to make the same. You don't want to repeat the same mistakes you've
Mistakes.
done in the past. So that was
Exactly.
normal. There's no
Exactly.
problem with that.
So
No
let's
problem with
get
that.
some insights into our dating life. Let's
Ah.
do it. Let's do it. What type of people do you typically date? Let us know.
Do you want to go
First
first,
of
or should
all,
I go first?
no, you go first. First of all, I want
All
to
right.
like ask this. Are you single?
Yeah, I'm single.
Okay, let's just
So we're
put that
good.
out there
All right,
because
we're good. We're good.
that's great. Okay. We're not
We're
getting
good.
in trouble. But what type of people do you typically date?
Man, that's a great question. I mean, obviously, like for me, one of the how do I even say this, man? Okay, the first initial phase for me, I don't care what anybody says. That is your business. I must find you attractive. That's my
Yes,
first thing. I
yes.
must find you attractive. I'm sorry.
In a
People
certain
that
way, yeah.
say physically attractive. That's what I'm trying to say. Physically attractive. I must find you physically attractive. People that say, I'm attracted to your mind. I'm attracted to the way you think, your knowledge. Yeah, that's cool too. That's cool. That's cool. Like I feel you. That's cool. But that's not when I look at you. I cannot see your mind, man. See what I'm
I
saying?
can't read your brain. Yeah,
I
yeah, I
can't
know. I
see
feel you.
exactly. So that's my initial thing. Now, obviously, if I like the way you talk, the vibes, the energy, that makes you even more attractive
Right.
to me.
Yeah, yeah.
So there's that.
Mm-hmm.
So the type of people out there are people that I find physically attractive.
Yeah.
Obviously, um, I typically don't date um girls or women that are tall. I don't know why. I typically date women that are like 5'5", 5'6". Typically find
Wait,
myself
did
in
you
that
just
range.
know? Because I think I'm tall and I'm 5'6".
I mean, I'm 6'1",
Okay, okay,
so
okay. Sorry. Sorry.
exactly, exactly. You know what I'm saying? So
Sorry.
I typically date people that I don't know. I mean, it's not even like it's like a conscious thing. I just really find myself in those situations.
Yeah.
It's just what
I
it is.
mean, trust me, us girls 5'6", we're not complaining about your height. So keep going.
So there's that. I don't care about some people like saying they like light skin, dark. I don't care about that. I really
Mm-hmm.
that doesn't matter to me, to be honest. I
Mm-hmm.
find you attractive. I find you attractive. I like dating women that are ambitious. I can't lie, man. That shit is
Mm,
so attractive to me, bro.
it's beautiful. Yeah.
Bro, I don't know, man, but that shit is sexy as fuck to me, man. Jesus
Yeah.
Christ. So I like seeing people that are like, oh, I want to get this goal, like I have this, I want to achieve this. That
Mhm.
shit just makes me I'm just like that shit just makes me it just I really love seeing that shit in people, man. Because I feel like I'm the type of person that I like to try and help you like get to where you're trying to get to, like your goal and stuff. So like seeing
Yeah.
that you already have something in your mind, I'm just like, you made my job easier, man. I really
Yeah.
have to think about how we're going to try and help each other get to our places. We just have to try and get there, you
Mm-hmm.
know?
Mm-hmm.
Um I would say those are my that's what I look for in people, to be honest.
Yeah.
Ambition, obviously physical attraction, that one is a must. It's not even debatable. It must be there.
Yeah.
And yeah, you know,
Yeah.
that's really it for me. What
Yeah.
about you?
I think the physical thing, I agree with you. And the reason why I said on a certain level is because I think you at least have to be attracted to the person, because I think you can be attracted to different people on different levels. Like
Yep.
some girl might be your spec 90%, some girl might be your spec 70, some might be your spec 100. At least it has to be a level that like reels you in, to keep
Mm-hmm.
going. If that's not there, then like, to your point, how are you even going to like know to further it, or like you can't see beyond what you can't see in front of you. Yeah. So I
Mm-hmm.
think for me, definitely I have to be attracted to you physically. It's crazy because like over the last year and a half where I've just been like, dabbling in the waters of dating, I realized how face in a man is so
Yeah.
important. Like your face needs to do something for me. Like if
Okay.
if I can't stare at you, like for like if I just can't keep wanting to look at you, yeah. And I think it's because like there was this one guy I was talking to, and his body was, decent, but it wasn't really what attracted me to him. But his
Mm-hmm.
face, oh my Jesus, like I thought he was so handsome and all of that. And
No, well, they pause, man. Just keep on going, though.
so I realized how that's so important for me. Like you have to have a nice looking face on you. In terms of
Mm-hmm.
heights, I think like I know height is big for women. For me, as long as you're taller than me, or you could even be my height. Again, the
Ah.
face, if you're beautiful, like I think your face is beautiful and like your body is decent and you're in
Mm-hmm.
my height, bruh. we could work. And like obviously the other things, like we could work. Height
Oh
is
yeah. Oh yeah. Go on. I saw something
oh
else, but go on. I'm sorry. Just go ahead.
height is nice, but like it's not like a deal breaker as long as you're not shorter than me. If you're shorter than me, sorry. Like if you even look shorter than me, I'm sorry. Like I might not be attracted to you. So
Mm-hmm.
the physical element is there, but I think for me physically it's more so like the face,
Yeah.
and then your body, as long as your body is decent. Like I'm not really looking for a certain type of body standard. I do like
Mm-hmm.
my guys like built, but it's not like a huge deal breaker because everybody can get themselves into the gym, you know.
Yeah.
The second thing, which like I don't know if it's gonna make sense, but it makes sense in my head, is your aura.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Okay.
the way you carry yourself, the types of
Mm-hmm.
places that you put yourself in, the types
Mm-hmm.
of things that you do, like that would is like big on my I can date you list.
Mm-hmm.
Um the other thing is like mentality. Oh my Jesus. Like there has to be a certain way that you think, you
Of
know,
course.
driven, the way you see life, the way you do things, the way you react to like adverse
Mm-hmm.
situations. Like your
Mm-hmm.
mentality just has to be on a certain wavelength for me to like want to even keep investing time in you. Um,
Okay.
and then I think the personality maybe comes after like your mentality, your aura, and your looks, but personality more so your sense of humor. Um, I don't know how to describe personality, but just the things that
Yeah. I
you
get you. Don't worry. I
you
understand.
get me, yeah. But that's what would reel me into dating someone, and then
Mm-hmm.
like giving them the chance to start talking, and then once we start to
Mm-hmm.
talk, then the deeper things is kind of like how you figure out if you want to keep going or not. So things like,
Mm-hmm.
are you successful?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, family, how's your family dynamic? How
Oh shit, that's true. I actually didn't think about that, but yeah, that's very
So
important too. I
that
can't lie.
is so
That's
important
very
to
important,
me.
man. That's
It's
very
so
important.
wild because like sometimes I feel bad because I'm actually actively looking for that. And I know that not everybody has.
It's unfortunate, man. Not everybody has like a great background or a
Yeah,
great like relationship with their family.
example. Yeah,
But
yeah, but it's
game is a
important
game.
to me. It's
It is.
it's so important to me. I think also like God, your relationship with God, that's something that has become very, very, very important to me over the last couple of years. I think you
Mm-hmm.
mentioned this too, like driven, you have to be driven. One thing I will say is that because I was having this argument with one of my friends, and he was like, he doesn't understand why good guys always carry last. And I was like, to be fair, I don't think I can date a bad boy in the sense that like you're literally
What is a
dead,
bad boy, bro?
you're a deadbeat, like flat out, meaning that like
Oh,
you not even like meaning that like it's obvious that you're here to cheat on me. It's obvious that like you don't respect me in the way that I want to be respected. You talk to me in a very like
rude.
misogynist way, rude way.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can't. You give me the chase that it's not even like exciting. It's stressful. It's like I don't like that. No. However, I will say this: I also cannot be with a doormat.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. So it's
For
like I
sure.
do feel like when it comes to that whole good boy thing, I want a good boy in the sense that like you're gonna respect me, all that. But I also want somebody that is going to keep me on my toes
Yeah, put you in
and
your place
like
sometimes.
put me in my place when I need to be put in my place. Yeah, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But you're gonna say something.
Oh yeah, I was going to add one more thing to my list that I just
Please
forgot to
do.
add. It was the way you dress, man. Oh god, that shit is so
Oh, are
important
you
too.
serious? Oh my
Bro.
gosh.
No, I can't lie, man. There was this girl that I liked so much, bro. But man, I didn't like the way she dressed, man. I didn't like it, man. It just looked like there wasn't really much talk going on. She just really put on stuff. It's like, nah, baby.
Yeah.
Like I like you, but you gotta do more, man. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
You
Yo,
have to do
can I
more,
be
man.
honest?
Please. Go on.
Can I be honest with you? I didn't realize
Yeah.
how important that was until I met a guy that just didn't do it for me, dressing
Ah,
wise.
everyone was saying you have to have like seriously expensive stuff, but
No, no.
just look like he put thought into what you're wearing, man. You know?
Yeah.
Like
Like let me be excited to show you off outside.
yeah, exactly. Like how can I be hiding face when I'm walking with you? Ah, come on now. That's not what I'm saying.
No, I get you because one of my friends, I love her so much. Like that's so important to her, and I've
Mm-hmm.
always been like, it's not that bad to me. But when I saw how bad it can be, it became like, okay, you at least have to put in some effort. Like
Yeah, some people don't even care, man. Some people just don't care. They just, I'm just like, how? How can you not care about the way you dress? I'm confused. How?
yep, yep. No, I actually agree. You know, another thing that is also kind of important to me, and this is something that I think my ex put on me. I think you have to also be put together on a
Mm-hmm.
very high level, like not necessarily like super organized and super clean, but you
Mm-hmm.
just can't be like tattered and scattered in every aspect of your life. You know, there's some people like that, where it's like
Huh.
you get into their car,
Let me not talk.
it looks like a dump. They don't
Hmm.
have their life put together. Like, no, no, I'm sorry, no, nope, nope, nope,
Like
nope.
just be erased, man. Like
Yeah,
that's
like
like bare minimum. That's bare
literally,
minimum.
literally. Okay, what are red flags for you?
Ha. Where do I even start, man?
Yo, should I go and then you go?
I mean, you go, you go, you go. I went
This
first.
one is gonna sound mean as hell, but I like what I like.
Mm.
One of my red flags is if you don't have friends.
Yes,
Oh god.
yes,
Like, I know
bro,
that sounds fucked up because some people just
bro. Nah, I'm sorry. Nah. It's not fucked up. It's real. Like, how can you not have
have
friends?
friends.
I'm confused.
Right. Like there has to be something deeper there because for me
Uh.
relationships are so key to me.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't have friends,
I
I
can't
already.
lie. I think you're the problem. I think you're the problem. If
Yes,
you don't have friends.
exactly. It's like, are you the problem? Do you not know how to sustain a relationship? Do you not
Mm-hmm.
know like how to have just be there for somebody and have someone like there's just so much there that if you
You
don't
have to
have
have friends,
friends,
man.
I'm sorry, I can't be your only friend.
Please, though. I don't want to be your only friend either. Like,
Like,
bruh, that's how people start depending on other people. Like, you don't have anybody else that you can, talk to about stuff, talk about anything. Like, this person is your
mhm,
whole world. Nah,
your
man. I
whole
don't want to be your whole.
world.
Please, please.
Yep, yep,
I don't want that, man.
yep. Another red flag, and we kind of like alluded to it, is just when you have no motivation in life, like just nonchalant about everything. Everything
Mm-hmm.
goes. It's just like you're not driven, no ambition. You could literally
Mm-hmm.
just lay on your couch every single day. Like, nope,
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
nope,
Mm-mm.
nope.
That's a
Um,
massive red flag there, man.
yeah,
Massive.
massive. Another one, which I think it takes a while to like really, really figure out, but sometimes you can actually suss this out early on, depending on how good the guy is. But when you
Mm-hmm.
have terrible emotional intelligence, like terrible, meaning that like
Fair enough.
you don't know how to have emotional connections with somebody. You don't know how to
Mm-hmm.
tell when to like be empathetic, when to be supportive, when to like back down on certain things, like when somebody's just not in the mood, and you need to know how to like readjust conversations when
Yeah.
you just don't have none of those emotional intelligence cues.
Mm-hmm.
That's really big. You don't know how to carry conversations, you don't know how to keep up, check in,
Mm-hmm.
all of
Mm-hmm.
that.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is just very l- lack of like it's how do I explain, like when there's no emotions to anything, it's like very straight and direct. That's what it is, that's what it is. No emotions has to get involved. I don't like
How
that.
can you even live your life like that, man? Like,
Some
like
people
we're
actually do.
naturally, like emotional. Like we have feelings, human beings. People that like doing, I want to be blunt with everything. Bruh,
Yes.
I beg,
Yeah.
relax, man.
Okay, I've actually met a lot of guys like that where it's like, stop being so emotional, it's not that deep, da 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 da, and it's
Some things are not that deep, but like you have to know how to express emotions still, you know?
exactly. And I get you. Some things like you might just be analyzing it over, but how you even interact with me in that situation, like how do you get
Mm-hmm.
me to a point to understand that okay, maybe I should not be stressing too much about it. Don't just come to me with like it's not that deep. Like that's the whole emotional intelligence aspect of it. You can see that I'm getting emotional over something. Like how do you handle that? Um the other thing, you see me like racking my brains. What are the things I've noticed? If you don't know how to take care of yourself, like physically,
Mm-hmm.
mentally, your soul, you don't know how to do any of it. Like, no, you're eating trash every day. You're
Oh
not
Lord.
like just knowing how to take care of yourself, your mind, your body, your soul. That's so important to me because me seeing you take care of yourself, I kind of feel like okay, you can also take care of other people once like you have to get yourself good first before you start to like share that out with the world.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah, I think the last
Totally.
one for
Totally.
me, okay, last two is like hot and cold. We spoke about this earlier, but
Oh man. Oh man.
some people are like that and it confuses the hell out of me.
Bro, that's just like that's just a no, man. That's just a no.
Because I don't know what version of you I'm gonna get on what specific day.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
it's
That's just a
actually
no, man.
throws you off. I know I like suspense and excitement and all of that, but that hot and cold thing, it's like bipolar to me. It's like I have to keep myself on my toes because I don't know what version. Like, am I gonna get the super hot you're coming in or the super cold?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, yeah, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Yeah. The last thing I'm gonna shut up after this is like
Okay.
how you treat people and me, like just morals. Are you rude?
Mm-hmm.
Just the way you treat people. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
those are my red flags. What are yours? Curious.
I mean, honestly, a lot of what you said is things for me too. I guess something I will add is you just said that hot and cold thing, and it's kind of similar to this, but it's different. And I don't know if it was somebody where you felt like you were on eggshells every
Oh my
time.
gosh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I don't like that, man. I don't like that. Some like I've experienced that before, and it really wasn't fun for me because I just always felt like, oh, man, if I say anything now, this one will start vexing. If I say anything now, you get, I just always felt like I had
Mm,
to be extremely careful with every single thing.
same.
I'm just like, bruh, I just
Yeah,
want to be myself, and I really feel like I couldn't be myself with this person. So
yeah,
that's one of the reasons why we didn't even work out in the end. There was
yeah.
that. Another thing I would say is a red flag for me, and this might sound mean, but I really don't mean it in a mean way. But if
Uh-huh.
you haven't dealt with like your in your past trauma, please don't try and get into the relationship, man. Just
Mm.
let it be, bro.
How
Just
would
let
you
it
like
be.
someone to handle that though? Because when you start talking to somebody, do you want them to be
Hmm.
like, I'm not over this and this and this in my past, or
Hmm.
you just don't want them to even talk to you?
Obviously, if I just start talking to you, I won't know until you tell me.
Right,
Until I
right.
start seeing traits that you
Mm-hmm.
have that will let me know that, oh shit, you might actually still be dealing with stuff from
Mm-hmm.
maybe like a previous relationship or a previous experience you had,
Mm-hmm.
something like that. I would say, please, you can tell me up front, please, don't let it start manifesting itself because that's just going to be ugly, to be honest. Just start getting
Mm-hmm.
ugly from there. And it's happened to me before, and man, it wasn't fun, bro. I can't lie, it wasn't fun. So I would say just try and deal with whatever baggage or whatever like emotional trauma you might have had in the past. If you need therapy, please go to therapy. If you need to, just take a break from everything and everyone. Do what you have to do to get your mind and yourself right. Because I'm telling you, you might not even know that you're doing this thing sometimes, but you're going to be
Mm-hmm.
dumping that trauma on the other person, and it's not fair to
On the
them.
other
It's really
person,
not.
yeah. That's so true.
So
I had a
I
yeah,
would
one
say
of my
that.
guy friends was just telling me about this, how the girl he was talking to, literally,
Mm-hmm.
she was cheated on and she just came at him with like, "You're a liar, all men are liars," and it kind of upset him because he was always like, "You don't even know me."
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
Also to
just
the
wild, man.
uptight thing, I feel like because that has happened to me before as well, where it's like I didn't realize how I was being so uptight in my relationship and it
Mm-hmm.
was affecting the other person, but it's because I was
Mm-hmm.
dealing with like my own shit,
Mm-hmm.
subconsciously. And it's one of those things where you really have to just like, even not beyond just the dating stage, but even when you're in like the relationship stage, like you have to keep checking in with like yourself and your partner on like how are we truly feeling in this whole dynamic and stuff. So this has been great. Let's wrap this up. I want to know. So we've talking about dating stage, what we like, what
Yep.
we don't like, the
Mm-hmm.
different stages, all of that. I hope you guys have
Mm-hmm.
learned a thing or two because I'm like for sure I'm taking
Oh no,
notes.
I've learned, man.
Okay, so how do you know you're ready to like move things into the official stage? So official, not even like exclusive, like official, official. This is my girl. This is
Like
my
in a
man.
relationship.
Nobody, yes, nobody else matters. How do
I
you know?
mean, I mean, for me, it's like if she ticks the most important boxes for me, I know that yeah, I want to take this to the next level. Whether that be, I've seen that loyalty is there. I've
Mm-hmm.
seen that our energy and vibes mesh very well. I've seen
Mm-hmm.
that I enjoy really spending time with this person. I think about them, ever so often. And I
Mm-hmm.
really enjoy like conversations we have, how she thinks, how she relates to
Mm-hmm.
other people, all those very important little things. Then for me,
Mm-hmm.
then I'm like, yeah, you know what? Maybe I actually want to take this to the next official level. That's how I know for me. And honestly, like I feel like the older we get, that
Mm-hmm.
becomes a lot harder to be honest,
Oh
man.
my gosh,
Because
yes.
as time goes on, you start seeing more and more little things that you don't like about people,
Yep.
and even though they're little things, it becomes so hard to ignore them.
Yep.
You
That's so
know,
true.
so I got that list grows every fucking year. I can't lie. Sorry for swearing, man. My fault for
No,
swearing,
bruh,
but
that's fine.
that list grows every year. I don't even. I'm just like I'm not even doing much. How is this list still growing? So it's just like man, some little things that people do that just rub you the wrong way sometimes, and it's just like I don't know if I'm ready to take this to that extra step if this keeps manifesting. Another red flag. I don't think none of us actually started looking is
Mm-hmm.
the fact that when you tell somebody something and they don't act on that thing on like the feedback you give them.
Wait,
Like,
what
bro,
you mean?
like let's say you keep on telling somebody about this particular thing that they're doing to you and you don't
Uh-huh.
like it,
Oh, and they
but you
keep
keep
doing
on doing
it.
it. I'm just
You know
like, bro,
what?
are you not listening?
You know what's interesting though? I feel like we've had this conversation because I agree with you. I think giving feedback is necessary. But I'm also
Mm-hmm.
very keen on, especially when you're dating, if somebody
Mm-hmm.
doesn't do what you need them to do, that's the cue for you to walk away. Because I've been in
Okay.
so
Go
many.
on.
I know. I think about it in a very like cutthroat way, which is not even like me because I always see the gray area. But
Mm-hmm.
in dating, I've told so many of my girlfriends, it's like if you want something done a certain way and this guy is not
Yeah.
doing it the way that you want it to do, and it's very, very, very important to you, not
Important to you.
everything, then that is a cue that this is not going to work. And I think where a lot of females find themselves is that they feel like the guy will change for them because their situation is not special. And I'm like, if he hasn't shown you that he's going to change for you, don't
Mm-hmm.
assume it's going to come with time. Like, take
Mm-hmm.
what you're being given and take that at face value and go with it, you know? But that's my thought on it. That's why I'm like,
Yeah,
if
but
you tell them, yeah, go ahead.
I get that, but it's just like sometimes people just don't really know, what they're doing wrong. Sometimes, like some people are
True.
just not aware. It's not even like being emotionally like unintelligent or something. Or sometimes people are just don't know that maybe what they're doing is wrong. So you have to
Yeah,
like sometimes just like tell them, listen, man. And it's also the way you tell them is also very important. Like just be like, look,
true.
I understand. You might not really know me too well, but when you do this certain thing, it makes me feel a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
So please, if you can cut that out, or if you can stop doing that, it will really help us a lot in what we're trying to build. But if you can't, then this might have to end. Something like that. Just obviously, I know it's not an easy conversation to have with a lot of people, but
Yeah,
man, you have to have those hard conversations, man. They're very important. You have to have them.
yeah.
You know.
I actually agree, especially if like there's so much there that you like. Like if
Mm-hmm.
there's so many of those little things that you're nitpick, like you want to have conversation. In my opinion, it's not worth it. Like you don't like this, you don't like this, you don't like that. At that point,
Mm-hmm.
like what are you really holding on to?
Yeah,
But
it's a bit too much at that point.
exactly.
Yeah.
But if they are, yeah, the conversations are hard, and I think
Very hard, man.
with you, it's like if they keep not doing it, that's also going to
Then
frustrate you too.
exactly.
Yeah. My advice for people is like if you've had that hard conversation a couple of times and it's not changing, especially if it's the beginning stages, then just take that as a cue that it's not supposed to be.
Yeah,
If
just
it's
let
like
it be.
exactly, if it's later on, like there's so much that has been built there and that's the one thing, then maybe you guys could work through it, but both parties have to be willing to like make the change. If not, even if it's long term and both parties are not willing, I still
Mm-hmm.
think don't like bottom line, nobody's gonna change. The change has to come from the individual itself. It can't
Yep.
come because you're saying you have to change. Yeah.
You can't change a person, man. You really can't.
Yeah. Yeah. I think for me, how do I know I'm ready to move to the official stage? Now, if I'm being honest, because in the past when I was younger, like I would just get into relationships because like it just happened, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Now for me, I keep asking myself, like, am I going to ever reached the point where I'm like, I want to be in a relationship again. I don't know.
Uh-uh. Really?
I'm serious because like
Wow.
my mindset right now is very much like, okay, I was in such a long-term relationship for such a long time that I just want to be as free, but I don't literally mean that as like free because in my previous relationship it wasn't like I was in a cage. No, I was free, but I want to be as single and is as independent. Let me use that word. I want to be as independent and as self like stand on myself for as much as I can. And then
Mm-hmm.
maybe over time I might change in like wanting to be in a relationship. But I haven't reached that point again where I'm like I want to date again. Like I'm sorry, I want to be in a committed relationship again.
Relationship with him, yeah.
But people
Okay.
have told me that like it might never come. It might just take meeting the right person to like get me there.
That's what we
So
pray for.
that's what we pray for, but I don't know, we'll see. But how do I know if I don't reach that point, then it's
Mm-hmm.
well, if I don't reach that point, that's fine. And then there's other things. The main biggest thing is like now I've realized how I actually want to have a deep friendship with this person. Like I want us to be friends first. And when I
Mm-hmm.
say friends, I mean like actual friends first, close
Mm-hmm.
friendship, deep friendship. The other thing is like trust. Like I want to, and that was something I really appreciated about my last relationship was like the trust was there. Like I want to trust you with everything inside of me, and that trust comes from like knowing you're going to be loyal, all of that, but also like comfort. Like I want to feel like I don't need to have my guards up with you at all.
Mm-hmm.
Like just
Mm-hmm.
let down those guards. Then I would say like emotional satisfaction. Like that is so big. I'm such an emotional person. Not even like I'm crying every day. No, it's just like I'm very in tune with my emotions and the emotions of people
That's
around me.
fine. That's
Yeah.
fine.
But you have to give me that emotional satisfaction. You have to
Mm-hmm.
stimulate me mentally. Like you can't explain it, but you need to
You
stimulate
say
me.
stimulate. Okay.
Stimulate my mental has to be on some activation shit. I'm joking. I'm joking.
Nah, I feel you. I feel you.
No, but you get what I mean. Like I have to
Yeah.
be intrigued by you. Like you have to just like keep me going and all of that. Then intimacy, like just being able to I don't know feel like you don't have those textual guards up with that person and it just flows with you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That one can take some time to build though, but
it
we'll
can.
get there. We'll get there. It's
It,
alright.
it can. It actually can. And that's also the thing. It's like the compatibility is so key because you're right. I think you can grow and evolve and all of that. But as long as you guys are doing it together and there's no, the walls are not there, that is so, so,
Mm-hmm.
so, 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 so important. But I think those are my, like, if I've reached out with a guy, even if I might say, like, oh, I don't want to be in a relationship, I think I might just subconsciously just like be ready to, commit and do all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm curious. Let's talk about love languages really quick before we wrap it up.
Okay. Okay.
Do you believe in like certain love languages and do you think people receive love and give love in a certain way?
Um, I would say that I believe that love languages, like the five that we typically know,
Yeah,
apply to everybody. It just really depends on like what order you prefer it in. Like first, I
right.
think it's physical touch, acts of service,
Yeah.
words of
Receiving gifts,
affirmation, receiving gifts, and quality time.
quality time.
So
Yeah.
physical touch.
Yeah, there's physical touch. Yeah, you said it all. You said it all.
I said, oh yeah. So like for instance, someone like me now, the two main ones for me are physical touch and quality time. Those are what I love the most.
Mm,
And then words of affirmation, acts of service at second, and then last receiving gifts. I don't really care for gifts. I mean, it's a nice
same.
to have,
Yeah.
but I mean, obviously, he doesn't like receiving gifts. Like we all like receiving gifts, but it's not like
Yeah.
the biggest thing,
Right.
you know.
Yeah.
So I think it all applies to everybody. To be honest, like it just depends on how, like, which is most important to you.
To you.
You have to really learn how to love like the person you're trying to be with, the person you're with, in their own way. You can't just say, "Oh, this is how I love," and that's it. Nah, but that
Okay.
doesn't work. You
Yep.
know,
Yep.
like you have to love them the way they want to be loved. And if you
Yep.
can't give them that, then allow it. Just let it.
Yep.
That's how I
I
look at it.
agree. I agree with you. And I think when I started dating younger, I didn't really understand that people
Mm-hmm.
receive love in a certain way because the way I receive love might be different from the way my partner receives love. And I can't
Mm-hmm.
say because this is how I show love and this is how I recognize love, that's how I'm going to give it to you. No, I need to show them love in the way that they want it. And I
They
think,
want to be loved. Yep.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think mine um is definitely quality time, words of
Mm-hmm.
affirmation, and
Yeah.
acts of service. Like those three merged together. Physical touch
Maybe
is
a
very,
little more.
very big for me too now.
Mm-hmm.
But it's one of those things where it's like I want us to spend time together. Either it's like physically or non-physically, but I want you to
Mm-hmm.
put in the time. Like you said something earlier which really resonated with me. It's like you have to make time for what's important for me, and that acts of service and quality time really shows me that like I
Yeah.
matter to you,
Exactly.
you know?
Exactly.
Yeah. And then words of affirmation,
Exactly.
of course. Yeah. But that's beautiful. And I think now I know that how I like to be loved is so different from how
Mm-hmm.
whoever I may be might. And it's just a
They
matter
want
of
to be
like
loved. Yep.
knowing how to balance it. Yeah.
One last thing.
Hmm.
I need people to stop thinking that love is even enough. Love is actually not enough.
Oh, it's
In
not so.
no,
It
it's
is
really not enough,
not.
man. I
It
can't lie.
is not
Like people have to understand that even though you love someone, that might not be enough to warrant you guys being together or you
together.
guys. And that's really not enough, man. You have to have that. There has to be that effort, that commitment. That
Yeah.
I'm not saying sacrifice yourself, but sometimes you have to make a little sacrifice
Yeah.
every now and then.
Compromises. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
compromise every now and then. Like that's what really keeps like things alive. That effort, that drive to try to or want to try. Stuff
Yeah.
like that. It's not just I love this person. Okay, so it's going to work.
Yeah.
Nah, man, that's really not how it works, man. And I keep on telling people that I talk to nowadays that I can't lie. Like no matter how much I love you, I also love myself, man. No matter how much I love you, I also
Yeah.
love Chibuke. I love Chibuke too.
Yeah.
And I have to do what's best for Chibuke. Mm, And that's how I live my life, man. Really.
Yeah.
So there's
No,
that.
I agree with you. I think love is definitely not enough. I think it's very fundamental, but it's not a lot. It's not a lot. Like I say a lot. It's not enough because there's so much more, like you said, that needs to go
Mm-hmm.
into like a committed relationship. And I feel like sometimes I've also seen where somebody is latching on to someone not because there's love there, but because there's comfort. There's like routine. But you can also see that it's
Yeah.
dead. It's one of those tricky
Like
things.
you're forcing it.
You're forcing it, and it's yeah. Or sometimes it's also like the attraction. You are so freaking attracted to this person, and that's it.
Man, that thing is hard, man. I can't lie.
It's hard. It's so
That's
hard.
hard,
Yeah,
man.
but there's so many different dynamics to it. But I definitely agree. I've
Yeah.
loved this episode. Thank you so much for
I
joining.
try, man. Thanks for having me again.
Of
Always a
course.
pleasure.
Thank you guys for listening. If you've gotten this far, this has been an amazing episode. Thank you, Chibike, for coming.
No problem.
This is Adult Puzzle Podcast. You can find us on all streaming platforms, wherever you find your podcast on. Rate us 5 stars only, please. We put in a lot of work
Mm-hmm.
and
Yes,
effort
sir.
into this, but we also love putting out this type of content. Engage with us
Mm-hmm.
on social media, Adult Puzzle Podcast on
Mm-hmm.
Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Interact with us, send us DMs, like our stuff, share all the good stuff, all the good stuff.
Yes, sir.
Um,
Yes, sir.
and with that, it's a wrap. Have a great rest of your week, Chibike. I will talk to you
You too.
soon.
For sure. For sure. All right. Thanks, Adam.